Brighton and Hove Albion's transformation from Football League team to one of the most exciting teams in Europe has been amazing. A team loved by the neutrals, they buy young up-and-coming players from different countries and make them into world-class players in just a few years, making a massive profit as well. This, alongside their exciting way of playing football under Graham Potter and now Roberto De Zerbi, has made Brighton a real good destination to go to. And Brighton might have just made the most shocking transfer of all time, bringing in Ansu Fati on loan from Barcelona. And this is how he will fit into Brighton's tactics this season. Firstly, let's go through how we even got here in the first place. Ansu Fati looks set to be a Barcelona legend, but it just hasn't worked out in the recent years. He has struggled for injury and game time, and last season, even when he was fit, Xavi did not really want to play him, and this year he's been replaced by a 16-year-old in Lamine Yamal. Despite already missing over 100 games in his career, and he is still only 20 years old, which is just crazy, he is a very good player outside of that, and has still showed last season that he's got a lot of ability and potential. And that's why other European sides were looking at him. I mean, Tottenham thought they were going to bring him in, but they didn't work out, and he decided to go to Brighton, which a lot of people are looking at in a bad way on Fati's side, but I think this is a brilliant opportunity for him to show the world what he can do. So first we'll go through what sort of a player Fati is and why Brighton might have looked to get him in. So only at the age of 20 and just a straight loan, he's got to really hit the ground running this season. Fati has a brilliant ability to make diagonal dribbles, encouraging a variety of attacking combinations when he progresses into the final third. This basically means that he is very good at running inside with the ball, and usually he would work with the fullbacks to get that overlap going when he moved inside, creating a combination or possessional based play. And Fati's a bit different to some typical world-class wingers, as he won't use skill and trickery to get round the defender and create a chance. He usually uses his quick wit of speed to get past the player, and when he's created the space, he often likes having a quick shot at goal. He usually plays in left wing, so he usually cuts in and likes shooting with his stronger right foot. This leads to Fati having a very high non-penalty XG and a lot of shots in a game, in the top 1% for wingers in the world, with 4.3 shots a game and a 0.5 non-penalty XG. And he also has not the worst goal record in the world. He already scored 22 league goals, and he's just 20 years old, and he already scored for Spain when he was 17, being the youngest ever goal scorer. And considering he hasn't really started for Barcelona a lot in the last few years since Xavi's come in, he is kind of a clutch player and comes on and has scored or assisted in big opportunities and big moments. Fati can also play in cam or up front if Brighton wanted to change their system around, which they like doing a lot. This leads into the fact that Fati actually has really good tactical awareness, and if the players around him are more ball to feet or differently, he will play off them and tailor his runs from the left wing even towards the box or to the edge of the box where he can find a teammate. However, for Barcelona, he is often usually played in the 4-3-3 on the left wing system, and this is usually with him combining and overlapping with Jordi Alba before, but obviously now they've just changed left back. Barca's attacks has historically been more focused down their left, so his job is a lot harder than you would think it is. As well as his injury record being quite poor, there is obviously weaknesses in his game. He is only 20 years old and he's missed so many games that there's going to be some flaws in there. As he has a high percentage of shots in a game and chances, there is also a stigma around him of him being quite a selfish player and not helping his team. This because he keeps cutting in and shooting, as we can see he's one of the highest players in Europe that do it. This has also led to people criticising his decision making, where he could often find a teammate or do a dribble and often just shoots quite a lot, which is obviously a big flaw in his game. And as much as he might develop over this year at Brighton, they've only got him for 1 year loan, so realistically you need them to be sort of settled near the start of the season if we're going to make what is worth having him at the club this year. And although he is at Brighton at such a young age, it can look as a big of a downfall for the man that people were calling a generational talent in 2021, and people were comparing to Messi, even though they do compare every youngster at Barcelona to Messi. But overall, I think this transfer is really good for him because of one man, and that man is one of the most intelligent people in the football universe, and it is Roberto De Zerbi, the manager of Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, since he's come to the Premier League, he has pretty much taken over. He has taken Brighton to another level when he came in mid-season, and has really changed tactics in football quite a lot, and he's definitely got a lot of revolutionary ideas that even people like Pep are looking up to. This leads us into the Brighton system and how it actually plays in game. De Zerbi has a lot of attributes that Pep Guardiola uses, like he wants to get his team the ball up the pitch the quickest, but he actually uses a different way to build up the team. Because De Zerbi knows that some teams are going to press Brighton and are going to demand a lot of the ball, Brighton actually want this and actually want players to come towards them, especially in defence. They like playing out from the back with the great passes they have, and usually pass it around waiting for the other team to commit to them, and then they will try and get out. They can even do this with a long ball system with the goalkeeper or one of the defenders fullbacks pushing it up, up, or with one of the midfielders dropping in and pushing up with the ball to go past a few players. This is good because it often leads their attackers in a 3v3 or 4v4 situation, which is great if you're going to take your men on, like obviously I hope Fati would do that. And this works with their attack and play, which is often usually a positional play sort of style, which we see Arteta and Pep also use. This is where the attacking line is always constantly moving, so people don't really have set positions, and often there's no really settled style to it. They just like having triangles and squares around the pitch, so there's always a man over when two come towards them. But something that Roberto De Zerbi likes to do is also make his players do diagonal runs across the pitch, so from the winger comes inside to the central side of the pitch, and maybe his fullbacks would overlap on the other sides, creating that width and that depth. And I think this role is going to work for Fati so well, because he's actually very good at running with the ball inside the middle of the pitch, as he has played Cam before and he scored some very many good goals there. I also think when the attack is going down that right side that he can be a very good attribute on the left side, because him and Estepina will overlap, and he loves having overlapping left backs. I mean, he worked with Jordi Alba for many years. I also think the Brighton system can actually help him develop as a player a lot, and I hope he doesn't turn into this selfish player anymore, because if he does move into the centre, or he does move into a sort of more winger position, Welbeck, whoever the striker is, Ferguson maybe, will come and help him and sort of give him that overlap inside as well as outside of Estepina. This can help him create partnerships with these players and hopefully do some 1-2s to get into the box, and I'm hoping that he doesn't just shoot every time he gets into the box, which it seems like he does. And at 5'10", Fati isn't actually a small guy, and he actually does have quite a powerful frame and brings a physical approach to the game. This can help Brighton get some more pressure on the ball and also give some more physicality to their technical players they've got around. Overall, the winger situation at Brighton is that they play centrally and wide at different points of the game. They have a free overlap there at all times, and they have players helping them if they ever need it. This is perfect for Fati to develop into a player. For how cheap this loan is, and it is just a loan that they can just get rid of after, this seems like a no-loss situation for Brighton. They needed depth behind Matoma in that left wing, which makes me feel like Fati won't start too much, but with the versatility of the player, he could also play in the centre and up front if they get some injuries or they want to change things around, like they have already done quite a lot. João Pedro is clearly not really liked by the manager. Apparently his work rate isn't high enough, or Fati will bring that work rate and that dedication if he's fit. And even though it's just a short deal, every single Brighton fan's going to love this signing. I mean, this is a big signing that a lot of the world football going to be looking at. Fati is one of the most coveted youngsters that we have in the world, and the fact he's going to Brighton is amazing for both the club and the player, I think. Overall, it's going to be quite funny to see Fati playing with Danny Welbeck, the legend himself, and it's going to be sick to see Fati at such a young age in the Premier League for a exciting team such as Brighton themselves. And if he can stay fit, it's brilliant depth for Brighton now they've got the Europa League for the first time this season. If you liked this video and want to see more tactical analysis, please watch all my other ones I've done. This is now the 5th one I've done. I want to do more, so please let me know what you guys want to see and which and who I should be doing, basically. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and send this to your friends if they wanted to know how he fits in. And yeah, I just hope this channel keeps growing. I appreciate all the support I've been getting, and hopefully we can get some more with some more videos. So just let me know what you guys want, and I'm sure I'll do it then.